So this is my go-to for acute lower back pain. A combination of mobilization followed by stabilization. So the best mobilization really, if you can do it, is to get a massage, a deep tissue massage, figure out where exactly is spasming and trying to get that released. The key is to follow mobilization with stabilization every single time. So short of going and getting body work from a licensed bodywork therapist, the lacrosse ball is your best friend, right? It's small enough to really get into the trigger point. It's small enough to really be able to isolate where the pain is in the back. So for the low back, I just start right above the sacrum, right close to the spine, and just spend some time exploring. Really what you're looking for is locations of acute pain, more pain than the surrounding tissue. Once you get there, you're gonna breathe into your belly and relax and let the ball sink in, okay? And you're gonna stay in that location until it changes, until it becomes less tight, less painful, something shifts or changes. If it's not shifting or changing, you can also do a contract and release where you engage the muscle and try to push the ball out of your back for maybe 10 seconds and then relax and let it sink back in. Okay, you can do little tiny movements. Once there's change in that area, it feels less intense, then you're gonna continue exploring, looking for new areas and new points, okay? Minimum of 2 minutes on each side. I usually do closer to 5 minutes on each side, but lacrosse ball first. Following that, you wanna stabilize those muscles. So my favorite stabilization techniques on the floor are horse stance, holding your belly button in, extending one arm, lowering, other arm and leg, lowering, okay? You need a minimum of 30 seconds to reactivate the muscle and restabilize, 2 minutes to actually condition the muscle and make it stronger. My second favorite one is the vertical horse stance, where instead of extending out, you're lifting up. Okay, so I'm keeping my arms straight and I'm lifting my shoulder and my hip. So lifting my shoulder and my hip straight up. Right shoulder, left hip, other side, left shoulder, right hip. And again, just moving slowly and getting all those muscles to activate. Third is reverse hyper on a Swiss ball. So laying on the Swiss ball, hands on the floor, legs straight. I'm gonna start by squeezing my butt, lifting my legs as high as I can on an inhale, exhaling back down. Moving with breath, squeeze, inhale, exhale back down. So those are my 3 favorite for the low back stabilization that are more grounded, okay? The best way of activating stabilizer muscles is through balance work. So Superman balance, where you're on the Swiss ball right around your midpoint belly area, and you lift your arms and legs and come up in balance. So this is really challenging for most people. I thought this was completely impossible when I first did it. Practice, practice, practice. Okay, so even if you're falling, even if you're coming up and falling down and coming up and falling down, still the act of trying to balance on this ball is still gonna activate those stabilizers in your back. The second balance one is 4-point. And while 4-point is good for your shoulders and hips and good for your back too, the real magic comes when you're able to lift one of your legs, okay? And it doesn't have to be a full lift, it can just be a little lift. So you don't have to come all the way out. You can just lift up a little bit off the ball and back down, and then the other side. But this coupling of balance and rotation where one leg is lifted really activates the multifidus in the low back, probably better than any other thing. So that's my go-to to getting out of pain quickly. We've got a lot of other tools that we use to help with alignment, to figure out exactly what's causing the pain, what the root cause is of the pain in the first place. Is it a disc derangement? Is it, being out of alignment? There's things we can do, but for general strengthening, those are the ones. Now, most low back pain is also coupled with lower abdominal that isn't activating properly. So we've got lots of videos on how to condition the lower abs and help stabilize that pelvis, stabilize that low back. But this is quick and dirty way to get out of pain.